More now on that breaking news we had talked about at the top of the hour. Sad day for the entire UGA family. Longtime football coach and athletics director Vince Dooley has died at 90 years old.
The university says he died peacefully at home. Dooley and his wife gave so much to the university, far beyond football. 11 Alive's Jeff Hullinger has more on the life and legacy of Coach Dooley.
Vince Dooley's legacy at the University of Georgia is more than about winning football games. True, he did win a lot of them, 201 in 25 years. At the time, he was the 9th coach in Division I history to win that many. He took the Dogs to 20 bowl games, and he led them to the 1980 National Championship. And that was a time when there was not a proliferation of bowl games as we have now. As the university's athletics director from 1979 to 2004, Georgia teams won 78 SEC championships and 23 national championships. But no one could have predicted that level of success at the beginning. In 1963, UGA hired the 31-year-old Dooley to be the youngest coach in the SEC. He was hired by then athletics director Joel Eves. He had no Georgia ties. He was born in Alabama, played football at Auburn, and nobody was sure that he would succeed, particularly after his first game, a 31-3 loss to Bear Bryant in Alabama. But that squad rallied to win 7 games, including the Sun Bowl. Coach Dooley had a system he believed in, and he never wavered. It was defense and the running game. Great linebackers, great safeties, great running backs. They played the Georgia way. Shortly after taking over the Georgia program, Coach Dooley redesigned the team's uniforms. He chose a red helmet with a black G on a white background. The wife of an assistant coach created the design. It was similar to Green Bay's G logo, though different in design and color. So the university asked for permission from the Packers, which was granted. But Coach Dooley was more than a football coach. He retired as head coach in 1988. He was only 56 years of age. He had a heart procedure earlier that year. He had angioplasty. He also had political flirtations, including talk of a 1988 run for governor, but those never materialized. He stayed on as athletics director, and he reinvented himself as athletics director. The school became more powerful and, yes, richer. As a proponent of women's athletics, education, and equity, he was a rare man in his occupation, particularly in this part of the country. He survived the Jan Kemp scandal when it looked like maybe he might be in trouble. He and his wife Barbara funneled a lot of their money back into the University of Georgia, including a fund to support and enhance the university's library. He continued his education at UGA in his 60s. He's written books on the Civil War. He even became a very noted gardener, and the university's horticulture department named a rose after him. He was always a Renaissance man in the SEC and the Deep South, a one-of-a-kind. And think about that, and yes, he was a football coach, one of the best, but Vince Dooley was so much more than that.
Obviously, a very sad day for Dog Nation, and you guys would understand that.
We really do. You know, being a student there when he was a coach and seeing him on the sidelines, of course, coaching the team. And, you know, we have an opportunity to meet up with some of these people in this business. And one of my favorite memories of him was I was at an event emceeing the Salvation Army Kettle Drive kickoff. He and I were the first people to donate money to the drive that year. And he was the keynote speaker, I was the MC, and I got to sit with him at the table. And it was just the coolest thing. I sat with Vince Dooley at lunch, and we were talking football. Yeah. And for somebody, you know, who admired him, and he was like a hero in Dog Nation, it was just the coolest thing that I was able to just to sit and talk to him and get to know him a little bit better.
And I think that story was so amazing because it showed him even beyond the football field, beyond the role of athletics director. It showed the impact that he had on the university and the surrounding community. So just gives you a little bit of a glimpse into his life and legacy that so many people will especially be focused on and remembering.
And what's funny is he would tell some stories about his life and some of the events in his life. I also emceed an event with Barbara Dooley and got to eat dinner with her. And it was interesting to see their different takes on the same story. She is just so funny, you know, and everything. But it was interesting to see their different takes of the same event. It's kind of cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you guys were able to experience that.
Yeah, and we'll certainly be keeping the Dooley family and the Dog Nation in our thoughts and prayers.
That's right.
For much more information on the life and legacy of Coach Vince Dooley, you can head to our website, 11alive.com. We've got a story posted for you there. We've also got a statement from Governor Brian Kemp, a Georgia grad himself, and we'll be adding to that as more people post their reflections and remembrances as well. Again, you'll find that story on our homepage, 11alive.com.